Hello, everyone. Jeff here with A Taste for Whiskey. And once again, I'm joined here with my good friend Deric and my good friend Chef Jason Reynolds. And I am excited about today because this is one of our most challenging food pairings, and that is counterbalance. If you've been following us, our first one, we had done flavor explosion, and our second one, we had done balance, which both are just really fun. They're easy. They're a lot not as complicated. But then we came to this counterbalance, and I'm going to have Chef talk to you a little bit about that.
Yeah, counterbalance is very tough, and you're right. It gave us a challenge, that's for sure. And we like those challenges, though.
Yes,
and,
we do.
So we get to taste some bourbon, right?
Yes.
So, counterbalance. When you talk about counterbalance, you talk about sweet, spicy, or opposites, and that's the counter part of it. It can be spicy and sweet, but when you take and taste and take a taste of the whiskey, it blends together and fuses in that and melds together.
Really creates this nice harmony, where you're taking something very spicy and all of a sudden you're introducing something very sweet that doesn't seem to make sense, but then on the palate, it just fits and works so well, and it creates this great balance and this creates this great flavor. So we talk a little bit about which direction we were going to go with this. And Deric, what do you think about that? What were your thoughts?
After the last one, and if you missed the chicken and a biscuit, that was a great idea for a Scotch, and then you took the cracker and turned it into a breading for the chicken. I mean,
It was great.
just amazing. And actually, after that, I'll tell a quick story. I come home and my wife had went to the grocery store and I got a box of chicken and a biscuit. So I see that, and the only thing I can figure is, well, she wants me to drink more Scotch. So, thank you guys for that. I appreciate that.
We're ready. We can hook that up.
But Mac likes it too, right? But to have a contrast pair, I would have never really thought to that even being a thing.
That's right.
So yeah, I mean, look at these truffles.
What do we have here?
Yeah, two different kinds of truffles. And truffle is just a spherical shaped chocolate dessert. Okay, so it's got the ganache in the middle, which is a nice creamy chocolate, and then a hard shell of chocolate on the outside. And it's Mexican chocolate truffle is the darker one with the dark chocolate.
Mexican meaning?
Mexican, yes. So Mexican chocolate has some spices, the chili powder, chili pepper in it, and then also has some cinnamon. That's Mexican chocolate. And so you get that nice little bit of the heat, and I actually did a little bit of chipotle pepper in there would give that nice smoky heat in there. But the white
sounds good to you too, doesn't it?
The other one is a salted butterscotch truffle, and it's got the white chocolate on the outside, and it's got the nice pink Himalayan salt, which is a natural pink salt from the Himalaya mountains in Pakistan. And then inside is a nice creamy butterscotch.
Oh, wow.
So when you bite into it, you got the white chocolate, which is not really chocolate, by the way.
Oh.
The white chocolate is just made from cocoa butter, and cocoa butter is just the fat solids from the chocolate.
It still sounds good.
Yeah. So, but
ganache and pink Pakistani salt. I mean,
so the salted butterscotch is sweet, and it's got the nice sweetness with the saltiness. The Mexican chocolate truffle is spicy with the nice cinnamon and the dark chocolate, in which it's 62% cacao. And cacao is the raw cacao bean from the tree, and that's the bitterness that you're going to get from the dark chocolate.
Wow, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, well, here we go. We got some taste, yes. So here they are.
So Deric, where did we kind of get to? So we've got all these bourbons over here. So how did we sort of get to where we found our perfect pair?
So this was our short list to pair with the dark chocolate, the Mexican truffle, right?
Mexican chocolate truffle, yeah.
With the spices in it and stuff. So we want something sweet, right? See, I'm learning a little bit. This was the short list. We got down to really two of these. The first two we eliminated was the Balcones Baby Blue. Just too much buttered corn. It just didn't seem to fit right. It was good and it paired, but it just didn't pair as well as the others. So,
nice and sweet though, isn't it? You still get that really good sweet, and we're fans of Balcones. Definitely fans of Balcones.
And a lower proof, which seemed to kind of help offset.
Yes.
And the same way with this, 94 proof maybe with the Elijah Craig. Again, paired very nicely. The caramel, the kind of the Elijah Craig notes that you get. But there was still a couple that were better than that.
And it had a little bit of a spice, didn't it, on that back end? So that while you can do well with this, you're still going to get a little bit of the heat that's going to really more balance it out and not counterbalance, right?
Yeah, it brings the heat up a little bit more of the heat already in the chocolate. And we're doing counterbalance, so we're not doing flavor explosion.
Yeah.
So counterbalance, we want to balance that heat out a little bit more.
You want to tame it down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these two did exactly that. They tamed that heat down. Yeah. They hit the sweet notes. These two were really just, we couldn't figure out which one was better. They were both really about the same to us. We decided for this to go with the 110 instead of the Forester because of this one had already been done. So we wanted to try something different. Peggy No had already done this and she nailed it. It was right on
perfect.
The money. It was. We think this one is right there with it. So both Brown Foreman too that you had mentioned earlier.
That's right.
I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but
so just, this is a good pair. It's a great pair with anything spicy. You're not going to go wrong with Woodford. If you're a Woodford fan, an excellent pair. But we felt, like Deric says, the 1910.
Yeah, we just wanted to try something, different.
Yeah. So. Well, and with the 1910, you're at a 93 proof. So you're at a little bit higher proof than the Woodford, and you've got an 18% rye. So you would think that rye is going to bring a little bit of added spice. But with it being a double barreled, it's around a 4 to 6 year. But because of the double barreling process and the way they do it, it really puts out those notes of chocolate. Mm-hmm. You get the notes of some toffee, and really not a lot of spice on this. It's really known as a very sweet bourbon for those of you that have tried it.
And to tell you the truth, this is my favorite bourbon right here, Old Forester 1910. And what I get is the caramel, the toffee, and I always call it the toasted marshmallow. Because you got the marshmallow flavor, the vanilla of the marshmallow, but then when you put over a campfire and you toast it, those burnt sugars. This is what it tastes like to me.
Burnt sugars. Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. Well, let's see how it's gonna. Let's see this perfect pair with the spiciness in this.
So we try this, and before we finish this, right? We still have a little bit of the truffle in our mouth, right?
Yes.
And maybe almost kind of like meld it down with the whiskey.
That's right, Deric. Good point. When doing food pairings and trying to do these different counterbalance, balance, and flavor explosion. The best way to do it is go ahead and take a bite of the food and let it rest on the palate. And just before you're finished with it, go ahead and take a drink of the whiskey so that you have a little bit of both on the palate and so that it kind of has a chance to kind of work together to create this nice harmony.
We hope.
We hope it creates a nice harmony.
Right.
Oh, wow.
The creamy middle. The hard shell of the dark chocolate on the outside is really good.
Oh, and there's that spice.
And in the back end, you get that spice.
Oh, yeah. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Wow. It really knocks out that spice. It really does.
Yeah.
So that spice was starting to grow. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as we went in with the Old Forester, the 1910, that sweetness just sort of kind of covered a little bit of that spicy notes that you came in and enhanced the chocolate.
Yep.
It really softened the spice, but that cinnamon. And so now I get a cinnamon, but not so much. It's not
just like you said it would. I mean, it took it and just balanced it right out.
Wow.
Yeah, and the chocolate's bitter. The dark chocolate, the 62% cacao is bitter, and it's dark chocolate. And a lot of people don't like dark chocolate because it is bitter. But when you blend this Old Forester with it, it flattens that out and sweetens it a little bit.
Chef, what I'm getting right now is just this really enhanced dark chocolate cherry.
Mm-hmm.
That it's just now the finish is still going.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is fantastic. You know that this is a really good pairing when you start to continue to get flavors and that spiciness is gone.
Yeah, the spiciness is
Wow.
gone, but the flavor's still there in your mouth.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very good.
This is the one I'm excited for. This butterscotch, and to find something that pairs with, well, that doesn't pair with, but counters with butterscotch, because so many bourbons have butterscotch
And caramel.
and caramel characteristics to them. So
That's exactly right.
this is what I'm really excited for.
Yeah,
So
the opposite is tougher. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, when you have something that's already spicy, it's easy just to pick a sweeter bourbon, although the challenge is tough. But when this is sweet already and has the saltiness and the sweet, man, to pick something to counterbalance with that.
this was the one that took us the longest. It is a little bit easier, but we really narrowed it down to two. And we found that a Four Roses, this is going to be the higher mash bill. So this is the 35% the 35% rye. And so you're going to have that nice rye spice and you get those fruit notes in with the Four Roses. But what we found that worked perfectly with this to take down those sweet notes is, I love this bourbon. It's Bardstown Bourbon Company Fusion Series number 3. This works so well. It's actually a blend of 3 bourbons, 2 of their own, blended with this is actually going to be a 13-year Kentucky bourbon. And this, I think, actually did exactly what we want. And that is, you've got the notes of, you got the spice, you've got the cinnamon notes that comes out in this. And you've actually got a blend of a 36% rye, which is their 3-year. That's 42%. You've got an 18% of their 3-year wheated bourbon, and then there's a 13-year medium rye, about 18%, and that is 40% of this. So this is just a beautiful blend in itself. It's got notes. It's not overly sweet, but it just hits that palate. So pairing that with this butterscotch truffle is going to be awesome.
And what about this Bardstown here, this fusion series? They've already fused 3 different ones together, so they're already thinking the counterbalance thing already in their
That's right.
bourbon.
That's right.
So
Looking for balance.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so to use it as a counterbalance with this butterscotch truffle is amazing.
Find something from Bardstown Bourbon Company that isn't delicious.
Oh, I totally agree. It's one of my favorites.
This is good on its own.
All right, so same. We're just going to dive right into this. Oh, this
Here
is
we
the
go.
one we're excited about.
Yes.
Oh.
Gee, that is fantastic.
The saltiness
The saltiness, yeah.
first, the sweetness, and that butterscotch flavor
Oh,
with the white chocolate.
oh man, cheers.
Cheers.
Mm. Wow. The cinnamon notes,
Oh man, that's the first thing you get.
really,
Yeah.
it really comes through and goes so well with the salt.
Yeah.
And the spice that you get on the Bardstown bourbon really goes well, and it pulls out the salt, which blends nicely with the butterscotch. Right, Deric?
That salt magnifies everything.
Yes.
Just like you said. I mean, just harmony. I know you used that word earlier. I don't know what else to call this. This is just perfect.
This is
The fusion series created a nice fusion with the white chocolate truffle.
There you go.
That is exactly right. Folks, you are not going to go wrong with these 2 pairings. And when you're talking truffles, this is just, I absolutely enjoy how well this counterbalance works. And just knowing that balance is easy, it's easier. Flavor explosion is easier, but counterbalance really creates this nice, just this special blend of flavors that you don't always get.
Yeah, the harmony, like we've talked about, the harmony in there of the blend is just amazing.
Absolutely. Now I have one thing here. We're getting ready to wrap up, but I have a little surprise for Deric. And so we're going to go into a flavor explosion.
This is a bonus.
This is a bonus. Chef and I was experimenting with different flavors, and we came across this, and we could not believe the explosion that this created. So stay with us for just a little bit more because I really want to get Deric's reaction on this flavor explosion. So what we're going to do is we kind of hid it from you a little bit here.
So I've heard that I've got something coming.
And it has
I
to
just
do-
don't know what.
It's with the Mexican chocolate truffle that has the spice and cinnamon in it already.
Okay.
Exactly. Yes. So we chose Wild Turkey 101, and we originally thought with some of the sweet notes in it, we were kind of seeing that maybe we could create this nice counterbalance. But what Chef and I got was not at all counterbalance, but flavor explosion. So
Most definitely.
let's go ahead and do a little pour, and let's talk about that explosion very quickly.
It did the opposite of what we were wanting to do. When we both said, "Wow."
So you
that's a
guys
flavor.
had it over here with the old Forester and the Elijah Craig, right?
Yes. Yes.
At first we did.
We did. And but again, talking about this food pairing, even how this flavor explosion, how it just makes a completely different experience, but just as good. Just as good. All right.
I hope I get what you guys got out of this.
Oh, you will.
Yeah, most definitely. I think so.
And I do challenge when you're working with especially the chipotle, right, Chef?
Mhm.
So the chipotle flavors and how it blends well with this Wild Turkey 101. I absolutely love this. I
Yeah,
love this.
If you like a bourbon spicy and you like those spicy notes, Wild Turkey 101 is a good way to go.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is
Especially
a
with
high
the-
rye, right? What is their mash bills? I really
I don't exactly know their mash bill, but it is just it's going to be more of a higher rye on this.
you can smell that a little
Yeah.
bit. in there,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you can.
The dark one, right?
The dark one.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that spice comes through.
The spice comes a little late.
Late. It comes
That's
late.
right.
You have to get it melt in your mouth.
It takes a minute.
Now, cheers. Mm. Wow.
That's like a hot cinnamon.
Wow.
Pepper.
There,
Cayenne pepper. I mean,
this it's
yeah.
the cinnamon.
Yeah.
There is just this. It's like taking a mouthful of Red Hots and it just enhances the cinnamon.
And even the chili pepper. I mean,
Yes.
both. I mean, it's like a flavor
It
explosion.
made my ears hot. Can that
Yes.
happen?
It's gone.
Yeah.
Now it's
gone.
now it's gone.
It doesn't linger.
Wow, it was very fast. It was
Yeah.
like that.
It just blows up that cinnamon note, and it really just it creates this flavor explosion, not a heat,
Yeah,
but a
no,
flavor explosion of peppers.
It's
So
amazing.
this
yeah.
is great.
I
So
had trouble taking a breath. It was like there for a minute. It was like a really high proof. It felt like
Mhm.
you had, but it wasn't a burn. But it was like if you try to breathe in a high proof,
Yeah.
it won't let you.
That's
right?
exactly
And
right.
It was right in that spot for a good.
And you're
10
right, it doesn't
seconds
go
right
long.
there.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't stay
Yeah.
long at all.
No. And Wild Turkey 101, this is one of my daily drinkers. I don't get that spice as much as I did with this, but yet both, again, the flavor explosion on this just totally created this wonderful flavor
Yeah.
of cinnamon and just rich, nice pepper notes. So,
And this is the great thing about pairing food and whiskey is that you don't know what you're going to get really.
That's right.
Until you try it, and you have to try it to get that perfect pair.
that's exactly right.
Well, I'm
Well-
ready to keep trying.
That's right. That's right. Well, Deric, thank you again. Chef, as always, we always appreciate you for this.
Yeah.
Continue to
Thanks,
follow
Chef.
us on A Taste for Whiskey Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got some great things planned for Easter, some things planned for St. Patty's Day. So just keep following us and cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.